Hi, I'm Cindy Shaw-Sinclair, and I love watching Rehoboth For You.
I'm Alicia Foxworth. You're watching Rehoboth For You. On today's show, we speak with Cindy Shaw-Sinclair about her journey to weight loss, which started with a wake-up call as she began to eat a plate of fried chicken wings for breakfast. It was then that she knew she had to make a change in her eating habits and consequently her health as well. Cindy, thank you for being on our show today and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alicia.
My goodness, you look fantastic, my dear.
Thank you. And you're not doing so bad yourself.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, so where are the fried chicken wings? No more?
No more. Oh. I can eat them, but moderation.
In moderation? Okay, okay. So then let's talk about moderation because this was your wake-up call.
Yeah.
Tell us that story.
You know, with the fried chicken, it wasn't the fried chicken per se, but it was the ingredients in the fried chicken. Oh. The salt, and well, I like hot sauce in mine before you fry it, and the adobo right here, you know, all my great stuff. My best friend, salt was my best friend, and so that along with the fat, deep frying it, of course, and who eats fried chicken without skin? Right?
Not me.
Not me. Not me. Never. Never without skin. And so, of course, I would eat my skin last and just crunch down on it.
Oh, it's delicious.
Right?
Oh, God.
Back in the day.
Okay.
So that, yeah, that was my wake-up call. I remember I had a skinny friend. And we would go and eat. And the wings would be ready very early. I don't know why. We went in Maryland. They don't really say that's the South, but I said it was the South because I'm from New York. And we'd be down there, and I smell fried chicken like 10 o'clock. And so everybody, because the lines would get long at lunch, would run down to the cafeteria, and she would get one.
Just one?
One.
So she was a
one
skinny
wing,
friend.
One potato chip. You know? So, and they were like 25 cents. For one. So how many are you going to get? Are you going to really get one? So I would get 5.
My goodness.
Or 6. And then, of course, I'm taking them back upstairs and I say, oh, but you know, I don't want it cold. So I got to eat it now. So I would eat it now. And then lunchtime would come and then we'd go out to lunch.
And you would still eat?
I would eat again.
Well, you had a hearty appetite now.
I had, you know, I think I ate out of feelings of depression. Oh. So.
Yeah. Well, you should have been here during our first segment.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, go
I
right
ate out of that feeling. It was a time right after a baby. It was a time of just drastic change, relocating. My family wasn't around, and I would just eat. So I would eat. Yeah. So the fried chicken, that was the wake-up call for me.
Wow. And at that time in your life, how much did you weigh?
Oh,
if I may ask.
You may.
Okay.
You may. Let me swallow hard. I probably was 220. I probably was 220, and at 5'5", 220.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, I was probably about 220. I remember moving back up here, walking down the street on Broadway, all the mirrors, you know, when you walk down 42nd Street, they have those, and I was walking, and I was doing like this because I thought my shirt was out.
Oh, my.
So I was tucking, and I said, oh, that's my stomach. I said, that's my belly. And so I realized that I was overweight. Yeah, I was overweight. And I just was wondering why nobody told me. But I guess, I don't know.
You had to tell yourself.
I had to tell myself. I saw it in the mirror, and then that's when I started to lose weight.
What were some of the ailments that you may have been experiencing? Did you have weakness in the knees or ankles and any pain in your bones?
The hip,
like
the hip, as you know, you got the little twit. Yes. You got the hip and the knee sometimes, but the hip. I noticed my hip, and I noticed my feet would also be swollen sometimes.
And for a very young woman, that had to be disheartening.
Yeah, if you're paying attention. But like if you're in your daily life, you're getting the kids ready for school, you're going to work, you're going this, you probably don't take minutes to look down and to really see or to stand there and look at yourself in the mirror naked. So
you just had a moment and an epiphany.
And then I said, my first thing was, I just want to be a little more fit, a little more healthy. So I really didn't think about the food. I just said, oh, okay, I'll walk up the stairs instead of taking the elevator.
Sounds good.
So yeah, then I saw this, I remember I saw this commercial and it said, this is depending on what you eat. You know, like it was some kind of a machine, like you want to work out. And I was like, oh, I'll get that. And then it said on the bottom, subject to what you eat. So I was like, okay, it's what I eat too. So that's when I started.
Always part of
to
the
replace.
equation.
Yeah, I started
Yes.
to replace things. Yeah.
All right. So then the journey itself, the road that you were on, started with replacing things.
Right.
That's what I heard you say.
Started to replacing things.
So what were some of the things that you had to replace? Because you still eat chicken.
I still eat chicken sometimes. And when
in
I eat the little wingettes.
Just the wingettes?
Yeah, I won't eat 3 or 4 wings. I'll eat 2 little wingettes.
And you take the skin off of the wingettes?
I don't take the skin. I might eat one of them.
That sounds so laborious.
Yeah, it
Oh
does.
my
It
goodness.
does. Or I'll just eat them rounded. What I usually do, my little secret, I don't know if somebody wants to try it, but I'll eat something and put half of it away. Like I'll fix my plate. And then I'll just say, and I'll just put this to the side and I'll just say, this is delicious just as it is. And I found that if you sit there and wait a few minutes, you're actually full.
Okay,
You're
okay.
full.
So you're practicing the smaller portions.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and that is advisable. I hear a lot of health professionals suggest smaller portions.
Smaller, you can get away with eating things, especially if you exercise, especially if you are mobile, you get around a lot, you can get away with eating that fried chicken wing. But remember, I always think about it this way. If I eat that is like 3 days on the treadmill.
Is it
that
really?
it's to burn that. To burn that, it's like not even worth it to eat it.
Oh my
It really
goodness.
isn't. When you start thinking about it that way.
You're making me depressed.
You start thinking about it that
Oh
way.
my goodness.
Yeah, one of my
No.
stepdaughters, she always says that, I want this, I want this. And I say, you can have it, but are you going to work out 3 more hours to, you know.
And how old is she?
She's 17.
And you're putting
she
this
has
guilt
weight
trip on her at 17.
She has her weight. She was big. She was a big girl.
Okay, so this is beyond just simple image.
No,
This is all about health. This is all about health.
Not Paris Hilton or somebody like this where
Right.
you want to be
Yeah,
skinny.
you're not
not
teaching her
that.
to be like that.
No,
You're
no,
teaching her
no,
to be
because
healthy.
I like meat on my bone.
Okay,
You know,
and I'm sure
I like
your
meat
husband
on
does
my
too.
bone. And is hey.
Merry
No
Christmas.
complaints.
Merry Christmas.
No complaints. No complaints.
Okay, so you started to make some simple substitutes, and you have some tips that you can share with us for our journey on the road to health.
Yes.
Whether weight loss is the issue or not, health is key.
Health is key. I would say if you're like us, Southern people like rice.
Okay.
So
I love my rice.
Yes,
Yes, I do.
so you can substitute the brown rice for the white rice.
That's fair.
Or you could say, okay, I want my white rice because I know we like that taste.
But it's not as nutritious.
It's not nutritious. It has nothing to it. But you always want to give yourself something because if you take away everything, when you have that crash, you're going to go down like in flames. So I had what I call Fat Friday.
Fat Friday.
Yeah, when I got close to where I wanted to be, I got a Fat Friday, and I said, okay, I'm going to have, this is one thing I like. Not everything, not the whole day, but I like pancakes. So I would have
That's
two.
fair. That's
I would
fair. In
have
small
two,
portions,
right?
just
I would
two.
have two.
All right.
One time I would eat like 3 of the chocolate chips or the Oreos or something that
Okay,
I like.
just 3.
Something that I like.
I cannot have
Something
this.
I know. If you okay, so that's 2 of your Fridays in a month then.
And 2 treadmills. Okay. 2 hours on treadmill.
Okay.
Good.
So you got to be willing to give your body something that it
Yes.
wants, and then also substitute for something that it wants. A lot of times we're looking for the crunch. So you might want to eat something more crunchy, and then squeeze in that little thing that you know you shouldn't be eating. But you can't deprive yourself. That's the one thing I know for sure. You can't deprive yourself at all.
So I can have that chocolate wafer sandwich with the coconut milk instead of
You
the
can
ice cream.
have it, yes. Or you can do the sorbet.
Okay.
You could do the sorbet.
That sounds good.
You could do sorbet.
Sorbet is good.
Sorbet.
All natural, sugar-free.
All natural, sugar-free, and just try the health food stores are great now. Like they have a lot of things in it for a lot of different kind of diets because we really are obese as a nation.
As a nation?
Yeah, as a nation.
So Michelle
It is-
Obama, she's on to something.
She's got it. I mean, I teach and I look at kids and I see that their body types are they're not mobile. They're eating junk. They come in with these big bag potato chips, big sugar waters up to here. You know they
Sugar
make,
waters?
that's what I call it, colorful. I call it nice kidney juice. It's blue.
Oh my goodness.
All those nice, whatever the newest soda is, they have it in the store for the kids.
So are you in agreement with Mayor Bloomberg here in New York City in his quest to remove certain sort of soft drinks from the public schools?
As a teacher, I should not say that I agree with him, but I do agree on that issue.
Well, just that issue.
That issue,
Maybe
yes.
Bloomberg, you've got a great idea on that issue.
I do. I agree because I do see them spending their last in that soda machine at lunchtime. I do. And it does change. They're sluggish. I do see it. I do see it.
Well, what has changed in our curriculum? Because when I was a child, we had a gym period, and we were required to move, to play ball, and to run, to exercise. We had calisthenics.
Okay.
And then we had a play period after lunch.
Yes, recess.
Where we went outside. It was called recess. We ran around, fell down,
yeah.
got back up again, but we ran.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the curriculum nowadays where that's not included?
I think the standards now are so high that they squeezing in so much education because you got to get that 180 days, 6 periods a day, get this amount of subject, that amount of subject, and it's got to get in there.
So there's no time left.
No time left.
Wow. So that's pretty interesting. But you have some substitute items that you want to share with us. I know our time is running out, but I definitely want the audience to get some of your ideas.
So one of them is the organic chicken broth, very low in sodium, only 80 milligrams per cup. You always want to worry about the per whatever. It's a per teaspoon per cup. I would definitely use that. If you like anything like a turkey burger or something, be careful with ketchups and stuff because they're high in sodium. So Hunt's makes a no salt ketchup.
Really?
Yes. So I love this. This stays in my house. That stays in my house. And Costco's has a no salt organic seasoning. I use that for everything.
Is it very flavorful?
It's very good. It has a lot of things in it. It's organic and it's no salt. So you don't have to worry about it if you're worrying about your salt intake. And just one thing to keep in mind, always remember that a fourth of a teaspoon of anything is about that much. It's very
can we
little.
Get a shot of that? Yeah, that's
very little. And when you sprinkling it, we don't generally sprinkle this much on our food. We generally go like this.
Oh, exactly. That's
right.
I'm
so
very
this
heavy-handed.
is the equivalent of about 350 milligrams of sodium.
Seriously.
And so you know that you use way more than that. So that's one thing I want to drive home.
Shame on me. Cindy, I just wanted to find out from you really quickly. I believe you were able to reverse some health illnesses or issues in your life by eating healthy. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypertension. So that means that 4 or 5 visits to the doctor, your blood pressure is continually high. So my blood pressure had been like 190. Over 90, so if you know blood pressure is supposed to be 180, 120 over 80, so it was just high all the time, and the doctor told me take medicine, and I'm that no medicine girl, no way, no way. So after prayer and just panic, I said, let me go and see, and one thing she said that stuck with me was salt is in everything. So when I went in the stores, I looked at all the foods, and she was right, and so I began to just substitute things that I knew that high in sodium, and my rule is things that are pickled and things that are packaged and things that are preserved. Anything like that and not fresh, stay away from that. So that was one of the main things that I did, was stay away from things that I liked in the package or can or something like that. High in sodium, high in sodium.
You know, I mean, we really want foods that are flavorful and that fancy our palate, and it's so hard to find a good meal that's also healthy. But I think if we can incorporate some of Ms. Sinclair's tips, we'll definitely be on that road to good health, keeping our holidays healthy as well. Well, if experience is our best teacher, then Cindy Sinclair's experience will show that with a responsible diet, we can help the body heal itself. Cindy, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me, Alicia. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay.